Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Target exclusive Gold Label Edition Superman versus Doomsday. And I have wanted this set since it was announced because I love me some Superman, I love me some Doomsday. Getting them both in the classic flavors, I was so excited for this. And I am still actually excited for this, even after having opened it. And this is actually my second copy of it, because I ended up buying a second one. Because the first one, my Doomsday, was really loose, and he was just like kind of falling apart. And I was like, damn, that really sucks. And I think the reason why, because this one actually is sort of similar in that vein. And I think that it's just a running issue that this might run into because of the fact that most of this figure is the Devastator mold. So maybe it's just been used, too much to the point where, just used too much with that one run, so it made it loose. Maybe? I don't know, but that doesn't make sense, because then you look at this Clark, which we've had this, this body mold done several times, and this Clark figure, I don't know what it is. Something about this, because I usually don't like the proportions on this figure, and I still don't really care for the fact that the legs are kind of small, but there's something about this figure, I really enjoy it. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but I really like it. So without further ado, let's just get into what they come with. So obviously they come with their trading cards, they come with the base stands, but the only actual accessories that they come with are Clark has alternate flying hands, which are really nice. I do like these. I do like getting some flying hands for Superman. That's really nice. And then the standard Hush one that's coming, or not Hush, the standard classic one, I think it's actually referred to as Hush, but whatever. It's, I'm pretty sure the exact same colors as this, hopefully. But either way, it's the same body and everything. And, it has alternate hands. Actually comes with those flying hands, but it comes with fists. So that's good. So you'll be able to take those and port those onto here if you want. Because for whatever reason, he doesn't come with fists. I wish that he would have come with the fists. As much as I like the flying hands, I really do like having the flight hand options. I would have preferred fists, since this Clark is so beat up and he's angry and he has to fight Doomsday. Like, he's going to punch Doomsday. He's not just going to fly at him. You know what I mean? So we've obviously seen this body before with Superman. So let's real quick just kind of go over him, because I really do like this Superman. I really just can't explain it. He's just really nice. He's got some nice battle damage going on his face a little bit. I really like this head sculpt too. So let's just get him in as close as possible here. I really like the look of this face. He's got the nice kind of blue wash in the hair, which looks really good. A little bit of damage under his chin and lip, or under his cheek and his chin, lip area thing. A little on his forehead. He's got the grimace. Looks really good. He's got a little bit of, unfortunately none of it's sculpted, but I get why they wanted to just reuse the mold. I get it. It's not a big deal. But he's got a little bit of, torn suit right there. A little bit of scrape and stuff on that shoulder, on this bicep, the thigh right here. And then for his boots, he actually has like a little bit of dirt and grime on them both, which is really cool. I like that. And then his cape also is super torn. I don't have Bizarro, and it's been a while since I've futzed around with the Infected Superman, because that figure was torn apart like almost immediately when I got him, because I wanted to use it for fodder. So I don't know if this cape is reused or not. The only thing that is a bummer about this cape, he doesn't have the Superman logo on the back. I don't know why they didn't do that, but he doesn't have that, which is upsetting, because that's like a whole point of the, the iconic comic cover of the death of Superman is him having the logo in that. But I really do like the red and the blue on this. I think these look super classic, and it looks really good. And it also he looks very striking. These two just look so striking together in terms of the opposites of their colors and whatnot. And now bringing in Doomsday, like I said, he is like a lot of reuse. I think at the very least, it's just the arms. It might be the torso or like the midsection, but it's definitely the arms at least are reuse from the Devastator, which makes sense because it's a Doomsday version of that. But it also, you can see the clothing on here that they had on that, but it's just, cast in the color originally, which if you only really pay close attention, you'll notice it, but it's not super noticeable, I don't think. One thing that is very nice that they did on this that they usually don't do, and you usually just have to deal with it, these are squishy, they're pliable, which is so nice, because, oh man, this would have hurt so bad. Like, I actually did get my nail caught on one of these, and it actually cut me on the torso, so just be careful of that. But like the actual spikes on him, they're all squishy and pliable, which is really good. I'm very happy about that. Same with the legs too. So that's very nice. You shouldn't have to worry about him falling off the shelf and actually killing a member of your family. So that's really nice. That's always, you know, a good thing when figures don't do that. The hair type thing is also pliable on him, which looks really good. I'm going to have to pop the head off, I think, to give you guys a better look at that, because I can't raise my camera that high. So let's look at the head sculpt, because the head sculpt on this is beautiful. This just screams Doomsday. I love the sort of shading around the eyes as well as the red, because it just looks terrifying. And then you can see it right here. He actually has a jointed mouth, which is really cool. So you can actually open his jaw. If you open it too much, it looks a little wonky, but other than that, it actually looks really good. He's got the, you know, tongue painted in there and everything. You can close it all the way. It doesn't look weird when you close it all the way either. Although the spikes on his face are very hard though, so just kind of be careful with that as well. And they do clash into the neck a little bit, just so you know, with that. So it can turn one way and it can turn the other way as well, but it's just not as much as the other way. So you don't want to force that and end up breaking something. I wish his head would go back on. I said I wish his head would go back on. This figure, he's really just, you know, cast in this grayish color, and then the sort of rubbery bone pieces that are put on here are cast in a little bit lighter to, you know, a more bone-ish color. Then obviously the green and the silvers for the rest of his suit. He's not hard to stand either. Like once you get him into the proper, like sort of position, he just kind of carries himself and looks really good. So there's also a little bit of shading going on. Like there's a little bit of white kind of dry brush throughout the skin on him, which is really cool. I do like that. And then the main issue that I've run into, which just be careful. So, you know, obviously a lot of the McFarlane figures, they don't have a thigh swivel, but at the joints inside, like up here, you can usually move it. And on mine, you can't really. And whenever you try to move it, it actually starts to bend that stick that's in there, you know, like the actual like piece that it ports into. And it almost snapped on my original one that I got. So I'm just being a lot more cautious when it comes to this. But it is something just to know. So just, you know, be careful. You don't want to be like, oh, I know that it can move on the thigh, you know, up in that thigh joint. And it technically can, but just don't, because it will break on you. I promise. It will, like after some stressing on it, it will break. And you can see this Doomsday, he's not even stable right now, but he's standing. But they both look great. I love the classic look of these two together. I think that this is so awesome. I think that, you know, McFarlane really, when they do the more modernized stuff, it's great. You know, it looks good. But then when they do the classic stuff, they really can just nail it. All around, a lot of the time, they really do nail it. There are a couple of misses here and there, but McFarlane, you're just really killing it. Like, and I'm very happy with this. So articulation-wise, you really already know what you're getting, but I will go over that on Clark real quick. His head can go up that far, so you can get a nice flying pose out of it. I don't know why my camera keeps not focusing. There we go. Goes up that far, goes down that far, a little bit of rotation, tilt, shoulders go out that far. Got a little bit of, you know, the butterfly joint-ish type thing in there. You know the standard McFarlane joints. You know what I'm talking about. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go up all the way. As for the torso, I haven't done any modifications or anything, but it can go that far forward, that far back, rotation at both, you know, tilt, all that good stuff. The legs go out that far, forward and back. No thigh swivel, but of course there is like a little bit of turn, just like ever so slightly on that. Double jointed knees that go up that far. No boot swivel or anything, but the standard McFarlane joints, the ankles, you know, can go forward, rotate all the way around. Good stuff. And then toe joint as well. And then as for the articulation on Doomsday, let's try and do it back here. And I'm actually gonna have to stand up, I think, a little bit, so my audio is gonna be a little janky. So the head can go up that far, down that far, so you can, which is good because you can get him to look down at Superman and all that, which is really nice. Like I said, it runs into the bones on the sides here, so you can get the head to turn about here, or if you lift it up, you can get a little bit more. Same thing on this side, you just gotta kind of be careful and watch out where the bones are. Like I said, the jaw is articulated. The shoulders, this side on mine is very tight, but it can go that far. Bones start to crash into each other, but it's not bad. Can go that far up, you know, we'll start to crash into the bones, can go back. Single jointed elbows that go up about, oh, come on. Oh, go up about almost 90, I'd say. He's got, you know, rotation at the elbow as well. The hands do have, unfortunately, that Devastator hinge where it was just a hinge right here. So that is a little ugly, and they can go up. God damn, we're trying to try this side. Can go up a little bit, down a little bit, and then rotation. As for the torso itself, you can see he's kind of a little wiggly. Can go that far forward, that far back, rotation. Legs go out that far, which is really good. They start to kind of fall a little bit. It's honestly just like a, I wish they would have made the pegs bigger. That would have been the biggest thing to make it better, but the pegs are like about the size as Superman's. So it's just kind of an issue that you have to run into with too much plastic on a small piece like that. He's got single jointed knees that go back, not really at all, but there is rotation at the knee as well. No boots or anything, but his feet go that far back. God, that far up. He does have some ankle pivot and then no toe joint, actually, which is kind of crazy. And now on to some size comparisons. I don't know how we're going to do this, if you want to pick this up just for the Doomsday. Here he is with the Mafex Hush Superman, and then my, switched out torso Mezco Superman, and these two look really good next to him. He looks a lot more imposing. He looks imposing with the McFarlane Superman, but he looks, obviously twice the size of both these Clarks, which is really cool. I do like that. And then here they both are actually, of course, next to my custom Superman, which if you watch, you need to go watch my whatever video it was. It was the Nightfall Batman. That one I talk more about this and why I haven't made a video yet. So please, before the comments start coming in, go watch that. And then next to the Nightfall Bane, and I think this looks really freaking good. I like this. I like the size. I think it's really cool that we have, some good classic versions of Batman and Superman now, and then we got big beefy boy classic versions of both of their, two of their best villains. And then here they are next to that Nightfall Batman, which I did, I promised and I told you guys that I would repaint that forehead. So here's what that looks like if you guys want to see how this guy turned out. I am so beyond proud of how this looks, and I wish that this is what the McFarlane... Well, I was gonna say I wish this is what the Comic-Con one looked like, but I'm glad that it doesn't, because then I would have really wanted that. So, but yeah, this is what I was talking about in that video, where I was like, oh man, I wish that it had looked more like this for that exclusive, and because this is what I think a lot of people wish that it looked like, and in their brains think it looks like, but this is what I was talking about. Like, this is perfect. Overall, I really do like this set. I don't know what it is. The Superman itches my brain in a really weird way, and I really like the figure for whatever reason. I want to change the legs, but we don't have anything that's comparable in like color yet. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just leave this like this. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Because I don't think if you get him into a flying pose, he looks fine. But like standing him up next to the League, it's a little off. So we'll just have to see. Maybe I'll just use, I'll use this one as my Superman display Superman, and then I'll have my other one as my Justice League display. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I'm down for that. That's fine. We'll do that. We'll see. That's my rationale for now. And then this Doomsday, obviously just be careful. Just because I wish they would have made the thigh pins bigger, and they just didn't. And it's unfortunate, and it's definitely something to just watch out for. So, but other than that, it's a great Doomsday. It's a great Doomsday and a great Superman. It's a great pack. Well worth it. So nice I bought it twice. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.